Okay, we are going to write down sentences through sentence pattern 3A, the appositive. If you didn't watch my other video, you need to. There will actually be two things that you're supposed to draw up here somewhere if you watch that video. So go back and make sure that that gets done. I'm expecting those two illustrations. And then here, you got a taste of why we do sentence variety, why it matters, why we move things around. Now, we're going to take them, step by step, one at a time, and take a look at them and see what we've got. I'm going to use sentences written by my 2B class, and they're rather silly, but it's all going to be good. So remember that our good old friend, the adverb, most of our adverbs end in ly. Not all, but most, okay? And if it's an introductory adverb, all you need to do is to come up with an ly word, okay? 2B came up with angrily, okay? Because it's out of normal word order, it kicks in the comma. And they made up a character named Bob Morgan, some sort of office worker. Can't remember what exactly he was doing. But one morning he sipped his morning coffee. Okay, so can you see that normal word order would have been something like Bob Morgan angrily sipped his morning coffee. We've yanked it out of this spot, put it at the front, it kicks in our comma. Introductory adverb. Now, we have these special things called conjunctive adverbs. Don't be frightened. These are, you can kind of see the word in here, junct, like conjunction, or just a plain old junction where things come together. The root word con means with, like Spanish. So conjunctive adverbs are joining adverbs. They help show the relationship between ideas, okay? These guys are our big, giant transition words. I'm going to write about 4 of them up here so you can see what I'm talking about. The good old word furthermore, however, hence, what about thus, also, nevertheless. That's about all I can think of at the moment. Moreover, it's kind of a fun one. These big transition words will are randomly just labeled conjunctive adverbs. There's other types of adverbs as well. We care about these because they're so common in academic writing, and they do happen to kick in a comma. I find that for most of you, this is a pretty the comma rule that you guys do pretty naturally, however, comma, thus, comma. But it's nice to know why. I want you to be able to look at any sort of sentence and be able to identify why the heck is that comma there. Well, in this case, we have an introductory adverb, happens to be one of these cool conjunctive adverbs. So the sentence we wrote was, furthermore, he ate a mint ice cream cone. Cool. Okay, introductory adjectives. When you pull adjectives to the front, it's strange that you normally can't have just one. You can't say something like, green, the bird flew around. That's weird. But you can have usually more than one. We stack them up. You could say, green and fluffy, the bird looked cute. Okay, so I don't know why, but they often come in pairs. All right. So my kids decided we should have a chaotic but good. And then our friend Bob is going to have a necromancer friend here. Chaotic but good, comma, his necromancer friend tried to animate. Necromancers raise things from the dead. The coffee pot. I know, it's silly. Okay, again, notice how a sentence like pattern number 1, angrily, Bob Morgan sipped his morning coffee. Chaotic but good, his necromancer friend tried to animate the coffee pot. We don't talk like that. Okay, these sentence patterns are literary, and they help emphasize things. They make it interesting. They give us new ways to start sentences, so we're not always just subject, verb, subject, verb. If you haven't done it yet, you've got some assignments that just have you practice these patterns. And I don't want you to think it's busy work, okay? yes, it's repetitive. You're going to have to write some sentences that follow the patterns. But because you guys don't normally write like this, these are new, and it forces you to think outside the box, and by just writing sentences in that pattern, hopefully it will become part of your toolbox and something that you use commonly as you're thinking, what kind of sentence should I write now? And you'll have styles to choose from. So another thing we can do is to take adjectives like the ones we have up here. We have 2 nice adjectives there. And we could put them after the noun instead of at the front. You could have his necromancer friend, comma, chaotic but good, tried to animate the coffee pot. That's cool. So we decided to write a sentence about the coffee pot. There's our introductory noun. Now we're going to put adjectives after it. Sassy and energetic, leapt up and did a dance. Nice. Okay, the appositive is going to be this pattern. A noun, any kind of noun, a comma, and then usually either an a or a the, followed by another noun, and then the rest of the sentence. Simply, it could be something like somebody's name. Paul, the plumber. Sylvie, the dancer. Pete, the crazy, illiterate hobo, did something. Okay, that's our pattern. It's got a scary kind of name, but don't worry about it. We wrote the necromancer. Oh yeah, and then, sorry about this. A woman named Bilson, oh yes, went to get a hamburger. I say, that's not bad, huh? Okay, so in this sentence, this whole thing right here, a woman named Bill Bilson, is the thing we call the appositive. Noun phrase, separated by commas, and it describes and gives more information. You could really think of the appositive as being a renamer. It just renames it with another noun. The necromancer, a woman named whatever. These things can get really long. A woman named Bill Bilson who came from Scotland and used to live in a castle and now animates coffee pots for a living. And it could be very, very long, or it could be very short. The necromancer, a woman, comma, went to get a hamburger. Okay, so one of the worksheets has you practice these 4 patterns with pictures, and then the other one will have you write, I think, 6 sentences with this pattern. By that time, they should start to be really familiar. For this assignment, just take a picture of this or have done this in some sort of Word document and upload it. Make sure it's got its little illustrations from my other video. Thank you.